Welcome back to F1 Report, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great festive time and everyone is gearing up for the new year and, of course, a new season in just a couple of months. But for today, I want to take a look back on our recently completed season and do a bit of a review, team by team. Overall, I am still so impressed we managed to get the season we did. 17 races completed, some old favourites returning, and only 3 COVID diagnoses among the drivers is far better than I had expected. So a massive kudos has to go to the FIA and the teams for all making it work. Let's have a look at the teams breakdown. We'll take a look at how each of the teams got on and their big ticket news items along the way. We'll start with Williams and work our way up the grid. So coming into the season, Williams were rock bottom, and I think we all expected them to stay there, honestly. Although I do think most of us had hoped that they would progress at least a little bit. And I think we did see some progress this season. Williams were much closer to the competition this time out and actually scored 4 11th place finishes across the season, which is desperately unlucky that they just didn't get a point somewhere. They also massively improved in qualifying as well, regularly getting Russell into Q2. All that said though, the actual biggest news for them came off the track with the news that the Williams team has sold to Darlington Capital, bringing to an end an era in the sport, but hopefully furnishing Williams with some new investment that will help them get back to the sharp end of the grid in time. Haas are the next team up, and much like Williams, they struggled for money in a season full of uncertainty. Even before the season had got started, Haas said that no money would be spent on updates until the team knew it could reach the end of the season, and since the season has ended, they've actually come out and said it's a minor miracle they managed to make it at all. That being said, they did still secure some points, with their best racing coming at the Eiffel Grand Prix, where Grosjean took 9th and Magnussen 13th. They've reaffirmed their commitment to the sport with the new Concord agreement, so I hope to see them coming back for some time to come. Alfa Romeo were a real surprise package at times, but very inconsistent. On a good day, they could fight and scrap for the top 10, but on others they were dead last with no chance. It would be interesting perhaps to see a different engine in the car, see if that was the main cause of its issues. Their best result of the year came with a double points finish actually of 9th and 10th at Imola. Managed to beat out a Ferrari, a Red Bull and a Racing Point in that race. Their biggest news also came off track though, with the announcement that the Alfa Sauber partnership will continue, so we will continue to see the Alfa Romeo name on the grid for the time being. The next team up is another Alfa, it's AlphaTauri. The former Toro Rosso team have certainly grown into their own presence in recent years, and that form has continued this season. This was also the season that Gasly put himself back in the conversation as a top driver with a string of consistently high quality performances. Of course, he also leads their best moment of the season as well with a win in a thrilling Italian Grand Prix. They've also locked Gasly down now for a couple more years, so that seems to suggest that they are looking to push on and maybe catch those teams battling for third in the championship. I also like the new livery compared to the Toro Rosso as well, so a good season all round for them. Next up we have Ferrari, and what can I say about Ferrari this season? It's been a torrid time going from title challenges to mid-table mediocrity. They've had engine troubles, pit stop troubles, and a car with an unstable rear end, and all of this led to a pretty sad season. Probably their best race came actually in the season opener, with Leclerc securing a surprise second, surprising everybody, but they'll be desperate to turn things around next season to avoid embarrassment once again, but the real question is, can they do it? Renault ended the season in 5th place, and while that doesn't sound too impressive, I think it was probably their best season so far since their return to the sport. At the beginning of the season, they seemed to be occupying the back end of the top 10. However, as the season went on, they definitely got to grips with the car more, and they made impressive improvements. They achieved their first podium since returning at the Nürburgring, securing a new tattoo for Cyril Abiteboul in the process. And they went even one better at the Sakir Grand Prix as well, with Ocon taking 2nd place. We do lose the Renault name on the grid next season in favour of one of their smaller brands, Alpine. but we also welcome back former world champion Fernando Alonso as well. So together they will be definitely looking to push on next season. In fourth, we had Racing Point, or the Pink Mercedes as it has been affectionately or not so affectionately dubbed this season. They've had the consensus third best car in the field this year, but have been marred by allegations of copying Mercedes designs and multiple COVID tests from their drivers this year. So it's really been disrupting the rhythm of what should have been a brilliant season for them. Don't get me wrong, they still did a great job taking the fight for third place in the championship right to the last race, and along the way they had some fantastic results, most notably the Sakir Grand Prix, where Sergio Perez got his first ever win, and Stroll even came in third in that race too. Having said that, I think they'll be slightly disappointed not to secure that third place overall. They'll be changing their name to Aston Martin next season and welcoming Vettel to the fold. So with that big statement intent, they want to be fighting for more race wins next year, and probably better than third as well. McLaren ended the season in that very valuable third spot. Never really the fastest of the midfield, but always consistent and well drilled. They used reliability and strategy to always make the most of their pace. In my opinion, they also had the best driver lineup of the midfield teams as well. Their best result of the season came at the surprise that was Monza, where Sainz took second and Norris took fourth. A few more laps and Sainz could have had his first race win. McLaren are another team whose big news came off the track, as they announced they took more investment from the Bahrain government and an American consortium, keeping them in the sport for years to come. They'll also be welcoming Daniel Ricciardo to the team next year, as well as taking on Mercedes engines. I imagine they'll be looking to lock down that third place next year and start fighting for a few more wins. Second place was of course Red Bull, who had the honour of being Mercedes' main challenger, with Ferrari struggling. They themselves struggled with a hard to control car all season, which especially impacted Albon, causing him to rarely be in a position he needed to be to support his teammate. And Albon's form led to much of the conversation surrounding the team, especially in the second half, surrounding its driver lineup for 2021. That is now resolved for next season, with Perez joining the team, instantly making Red Bull one of the strongest driver lineups on the grid for 2021. Their goal will be to try and take it to Mercedes, and I'm sure they will stand a better chance next year with that driver lineup, but will they improve the drivability of the car? Finally, we have our champions Mercedes. In hindsight, they had things wrapped up pretty early, and I'm not sure how it can get better for them, honestly. They had some contract drama this season, with Hamilton still not signed for next year, and Toto Wolff only just signing recently. Their statuses have been a talking point all year, and to throw some late drama into the mix, Russell made a great argument of why he should also be racing in that team with his substitute appearance in Bahrain. Ultimately, they are the team to beat, and their constant improvement and lack of complacency really makes them a hard one to beat. So that's the 2020 end of season review. We had some cracking races this year, going to places I never thought we'd see again, and seeing people win I never thought would happen. It probably has to go down as one of the more unpredictable and interesting seasons in recent times. I just want to give a quick shout out and thank you to everyone who's watched, listened and subscribed this year. It's been my first year covering things on the channel and I've had a total blast. You can expect to see more from me over the break, including some new ideas that I've been working on, and of course I will cover any news that pops up as well. But what did you guys think of the season? Was there any personal highlights for you this year? Let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next one.